votes. Adelaide S. Wren 3 votes. So we declare Jim Stynes from the Melbourne Football Club the winner of the 1991 Brownlow Medal.
And Jim would like to come to the presentation area. Jim, with his father Brian, has made the long trip from Ireland to be with his son tonight. And it is a very emotional scene here, as you'd expect. David Cloakey came home with such a rush. John Northey, the coach. And boy, can the Irish celebrate. And they'll be doing that in Melbourne and right around Australia tonight. So, Jim, if you'd like to come up and join us here for the official presentation. Just think that 7 years ago, this big fella had never seen a game of Australian rules. And tonight, he's won the greatest individual honour the game can offer, the Brownlow Medal. Club captain Gary Lyon. And Ross, I invite you to come forward to make the official presentation to Jim Stynes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this man standing behind me only played his first senior game something like 4.5 years ago of Australian football. Quite a remarkable performance. Came out from Ireland, as we all know, having played Gaelic football there, and he's developed himself into a most athletic and skillful footballer in our code. But I suppose even more importantly than that, he's everyone's favourite, both for the Brownlow Medal and as a good all-round guy. Jim, congratulations from everyone.
We might invite Jim's father, Brian, also to the stage, who's come out from Ireland. And Jim, your mum, Tess, is at the Menzies at the Rialto right now. Come in, Brian. Jim's dad, Brian, and... Jim, I know you've shared this moment with Dad already. Why don't you share it with Mum, Tess, who's at the Menzies at the Rialto, and will be making her way very shortly. You can say something to her now. Speak English, Jim.
Jim?
What is the tattoo?
Tattoo go húntaach. Jim?
Well, yep,
it's absolutely fantastic. You're a great old... Yeah. Jim?
Yeah,
I'm delighted with you.
I can't listen to you. I'll only start crying if you start talking. Maybe we should start talking Gaelic and we'll get away with it.
Yes, yes.
What about Dad? How does he feel? Brian, let me know this. I mean, 7 years ago, I said earlier, Jim hadn't seen a game of Australian football. Were you and Tess in favour of letting your young son come all the way down under?
Well, the mother was, but I'm a bit of a pessimist, and I like to watch them play. And I was against it because I couldn't watch them play over in Australia. To me, it was another world.
But you get the telly there now, don't you? I mean, you see the matches in Dublin. Had to get a plug in for Channel 7, Jim. But by the way, Jim, we'll get back to you in a moment as well. I believe that...
It took a long time before they showed him over in Ireland.
Well, it's a long time before he became a superstar, but he certainly is now. Is it true, Jim, that when Barry Richardson came in 1984 that there was yourself and another young fella called Niall Quinn, who you looked at? Niall Quinn's gone on to be a striker at Manchester City and Arsenal, I think.
Yeah, Niall was the year before I came out, and he's gone on to be, a fantastic soccer player, and he's helped Ireland get through to the quarter-finals in Italy last year, so he's been fantastic.
Now, tell us about the story when you were playing under Slug Jordan in the early days at the under-19s, and you both needed an interpreter, and the umpire came up and said, "Tell this young fellow to stop calling me the ref," and the boundary umpire came up and said, "Tell him to stop calling me the ball boy." Is that true? True story, Jim?
Oh, yeah, well, Slug is a fairly vocal type of guy, and but there was always, any time I did anything wrong, he was always, we're at the next plane, you're back home, but I'll always got to get him back, and I suppose this is my opportunity. When I came out here and I was introduced to him back in Ireland, to be given a nickname like Slug, it had to be for a very special reason. And, it wasn't for that reason, I can tell you.
Slug's going to be pleased with you tomorrow, Jim. You've just given away a big secret there. Did you ever dream this?
Honestly, though, Slug was a fantastic help to me early on. He was really tough, and I suppose playing this game, it's not an easy game, especially when you haven't played before, and he really made me earn my position each week, and which wasn't too often. But
Jim, I just said at the start of the program I thought about you today. What were you thinking about today?
No, I just tried not to think about it. It's just, it's very hard. You know, we went out and played golf this morning just to get away from it, but it's just fantastic. I just can't believe I'm up here. I just...
Well, you can have an Irish celebration tonight. Brian, Jim, Tess, the Stynes family, they'll be celebrating right around the world. We'll take a break.
Hang on, I've got to take a few people. Hang on.
OK, go. Why not? It's live.
I'd just like to... there's a few people that mean a whole lot to me, and especially down at the club, and of course my father has been a catalyst in bringing me to where I am. He's always there as a coach all the way through, and also when I got out here he was really tough, and also John Norrie. I think this year he gave me a lot of faith to play in a ruck, and you know, could have been a different position, but he put faith in me and let me go, and I'm really appreciate both my dad and John have been fantastic. Also the rest of the players, it's hard coming out to a club and coming out to Australia, but the guys at Melbourne have been fantastic, and Gary Lyon's been an amazing captain. You know, I'd hate to be in your position, but you've done a great job this year, and the rest of the guys, it's just fantastic. The guys that are not here, get your ass in here quick, excuse me. But also I'd like to thank a couple of people. I have to thank the club for giving me the opportunity to come out here. They put a lot of faith, and Ron Barassi was, you know, he took a lot of stick about it, and I'd just like to thank him. He's here somewhere. I'll get a chance later for bringing me out here. It's fantastic. Also, I'd like to say thanks to Don Scott, who really got a lot out of me this year. He's a ruck coach down at the club, and he's been fantastic. And also to Greg Healy, who helped me early in the year when I wasn't playing very well. And we lived together for a few months, and both of us were looking at playing in the reserves, and he really helped me. And got to get this out of the way. Also, to the guys, a lot of my mates, the Irish lads that I hang around with here, they've been fantastic, and the guys at work and the girls at work. And I'd just like to send a special cheerio to two very good friends of mine whose fathers are in hospital, and I just hope they come through. So thanks very much.
Good on you, Jim.
I suppose in the back of your mind you think, well, you know, I've got a chance. Obviously, if you're winning awards, you have to be in with a chance. But any time it came into my mind, I just blocked it out straight away, and because otherwise you just get, I'm sure you'd end up getting nervous and a bit scared about the whole thing. So I just try to keep forgetting about it.
Why would a young guy from Dublin come halfway around the world to play a sport he'd never seen, never heard of? Why would you do it?
Well, I suppose I've come from a large family to 6 kids, and I'm the oldest. And at the time, I just started college, and the club offered me an opportunity to see most of the world, and they were going to pay for my college fees, which cost a lot of money in Ireland. And if I had gone to college, it might have deprived some of my younger brothers and sisters because we couldn't afford it. And then also, the club said that they were going to improve my my ability to compete, to run, build up my strengths, all these sorts of things, and said in 2 years' time or 3 years' time we'll send you back and you'll be a better player. I thought, oh yeah, well that sounds pretty good to me. I never thought I'd last. Sort of like it was a 2-year contract. I thought, well that'll be it, and I'll come home.
The Brownlow, you've got to be the best. You've also got to be the fairest. You're a pretty clean footballer, aren't you?
Well, I try and just play the ball and just get do as much as I can. And I suppose, you know, you try and get the ball as often as you can, and try to be of help to your team as much as you can. And Had never had the need to be, as I say, unfair.
A knuckleman.
Yeah, I've never had that. People haven't had that sort of approach to me, and I haven't had to retaliate maybe in that area. So I suppose I've been fortunate. But, you know, I've never been that sort of player. And, you know, I need to be more aggressive, I know that. It's been something that I need to work on, but it's just, I suppose, my makeup.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks very much, Derryn.
Jimmy Stynes, Brownlow medalist.